we do a good deed, and when the thank you is not given or the reward is not given, we get upset. How can you be upset that you've done something good unless it wasn't truly a good act? Welcome back to episode 31 of 100 Stoic School, which is 100 days of Stoicism taught by me, the author of the Everyday Stoic. Hopefully by the end, you'll fully understand what Stoicism is and how to incorporate it into your life to live the best version of yourself. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Let's jump into the episode. Today's lesson is on 5 things to quit right now. This is 5 things the Stoics said stop doing, which I think is great because most of these videos you see online, these self-help videos, telling you things you have to do. So you're adding to your life, which can be quite difficult, especially in our busy lives. So this is 5 things to take away from your busy life that will improve your life drastically, which I've noticed most of the best ways to improve your life is to take things away, stop doing things. So the first thing is to stop living in the past. The Stoics, like pretty much everyone on earth, understood that all we have is this present moment. We don't have the past and we don't have the future. So the only thing that exists is the present moment. So if you could, for a second, be present, listening to me in this video, and look around your environment and realize this is the only thing that exists. And all your problems in the past, all your regrets in the past, all the mistakes, all the overthinking and ruminating you're doing right now to reconcile and fix the past is not helping. It just makes you feel worse about yourself in the present. And the present is all we have. So we want to feel better in the present so that we can work towards a better future. But then the future is also not real because who knows what will happen in the future? Who knows if we will be gifted the future? So stop living in the past. Be present. The second thing to quit right now is to stop making everyone happy. And this sounds counterintuitive to becoming Stoic, to practicing Stoicism. But by making everyone happy, which is impossible, you can't make everyone happy, you sacrifice your own happiness and you become a shell of yourself in the pursuit of pleasing others. But we know we can't make everyone happy because if you give someone money, you might make them happy, then someone sees this, they get jealous, you've made them unhappy. And of course, when you talk about billions of people on this earth, it's just an impossibility, yet you hold the weight on your shoulders of people's happiness. And maybe it's because you're a very empathetic person, which is good, you care about people, but you can't make them all happy. And certainly, you don't want to sacrifice your own happiness to make them happy. So, what's the best thing you can do is actually love yourself first, care for yourself first, look after yourself first, which doesn't mean being selfish and careless of other people, but you look after yourself so you can live a more tranquil life, a more freeing life, as the Stoics advocated for. And then you become a better person, you become calmer, you become more wise, and then you become a better person to be around. So you have this nicer aura and this nicer energy and you're doing better things. So the people around you are positively impacted by this. But what we see is people actually, not all people know what they need. People know what they want. So people want something from you. They want you to do this, do that, do this. And you sacrifice your own needs for their wants. And oftentimes it is not what we want that we need. You don't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you might just find you get what you need, as the song goes. But it's true. We don't always know what we need. And these wants are often fueled by greed, by selfishness, by lust. And these wants can actually ruin a person. So focus on yourself, focus on being a good person. And by being this good role model for people around you, they can look towards you and they can start to get things from you just by your presence. As Epictetus says, he wants to be in the toga. He says, you're just trying to be the white thread in the toga that just fits in. I want to be the purple thread, the one that stands out, the one that shines, the one that people look at, the example. And by focusing on yourself, by looking after yourself and caring for yourself, becoming a good role model, you become the purple thread in the toga. You stand out and people say, I want to be like him. I want to follow his rule. I want to live a life like him or her. So stop trying to make everyone happy. It's impossible. And I don't mean just stop being apathetic or nihilistic. You can still care for people. There's a difference. We want to care for everyone. We want to look after people. But you can't make everyone happy. You don't control people's emotions. People's emotions fluctuate up and down all the time. So sometimes you can do the best thing for them and they're still upset. And now your happiness is diminished because you didn't meet the requirements. You didn't meet the expectations that someone else wanted from you. Because focusing on yourself will make you a better person to be around. Focusing on your own self-care, your own health, your own mental health, you become a nicer person to be around. And in turn, the people that love you, the people that are really important, they'll be positively impacted by this. They'll see, oh, the person I love is happy. The person I love is a better person to be around. I'm getting this good vibe from them. The third thing to quit right now is overthinking. So this is easier said than done. And if you told me this when I was 18, I would have laughed at you. Well, actually, I was told this when I was 18 to stop overthinking. I thought it was ridiculous. But I tried to stop, and I tried to stop for a long time. And eventually I got to a point where I realized you can't stop thoughts. You cannot stop thoughts entering your mind. They just enter. But what you can do is stop yourself from grabbing onto them. So you get a negative thought. We all get bad thoughts. You get a negative thought about someone. You can let it just fly past. Or maybe some people struggle to let their minds keep ruminating on it. But the point is, you actively add to this. So even if you're someone that is really bad at overthinking, you don't need to actively add to this. So you can have the negative self-talk that you've got, the overthinking you've got, which, can be helped and can be eased with therapy. But you don't have to keep attaching yourself to this, because what you do by attaching yourself to this and grabbing onto this and ruminating over it, you create a habit of doing this. So it becomes natural and you get good at this overthinking. But if you start to tip the scale and not doing this, you get better at not overthinking. So the fourth thing to quit right now is to stop focusing on what you can't control. So the Stoics talk about the dichotomy of control. They're talking about the things you can control. But you don't control the external world. You have no power over this external world, the weather, people's opinions, if the boss is late. Yeah, you have influence over it. But at the end of the day, these things still happen in a way that you could not control fully. So people often say, I can control my health. You can have influence over your health, but eventually one day you will get old and die. One day you will get sick. One day you might get injured. And then the same with reputation. You can be nice to people. You can be caring. You can give people money. But someone might just get jealous and make up lies about you, and then your reputation is ruined. And the same with your wealth. They might have a financial crash. So you can influence these things. So stop trying to hold these things as if you have full grasp over them, because they'll slip from your hand and cause distress. But you do control your internal world, the internal works, how you respond to the external world. So if someone makes up lies about you, you don't control those lies. You control how you respond to that. Am I going to get upset by these lies? Which, you might get upset initially. You might get that the first arrow. But then it's your choice if the second arrow hits. The first arrow always hits. That person makes a lie. You feel a certain way. That will always happen. But then it's your choice to let that second arrow hit. You choose to whether to go, I'm going to rise up to this and get angry at this person and ruminate over what they've said and ruin my life over what they've said. Or you can say, who cares about them? A quick word from our sponsor, Huel. I really like Huel. When I was writing my book, I was using Huel to power me through every single day. When I had my daily greens, when I had my meals, when I had my shakes, it stopped me from going to the shop, buying a load of rubbish, buying a load of unhealthy food, wasting loads of money. And these things do add up. Those quick journeys to the shop every day, the money adds up, the unhealthy foods add up, the wasted time adds up. So if I ever get those cravings, I grab a Huel and it fills my cravings. I feel good, it tastes delicious, it's quick and easy. And if you have any interest in the Huel products, then check the link in the description. Let's get back to the episode. So focus on what you can control. Stop focusing on the things you don't control. You don't control the weather. Stop getting stressed if it rains or if it's not the correct weather. Just put these things aside. Epictetus says that we need to put our faith in a higher power that's planned out our lives. All these externals are outside of our control. We need to have confidence in this. We need to be confident, as Epictetus said, in the things we do not control. Be confident that it's going the way it is. Our fate's being laid out, and all we need to do is focus on what we do control. The next thing to quit right now is self-doubt. You need to stop doubting yourself. It does no help. Of course, there is caution. Epictetus went on to say, we have confidence in the things outside of our control. We have caution to the things we do control. So we have caution. We need to be aware. We need to be on guard of these things. The Stoics say to be like the wrestler, not the dancer in terms of life. So we're always ready. We're building ourselves up to fight life in a way, to go with the blows, to take the hits, and to roll and make the best of each situation. But self-doubt is not helping any of these things. And it's the same again with like this spiral of negative self-talk. I remember I had when I was younger, where I felt anxious. I felt like I couldn't do much. I felt like I was in a rubbish situation. And my doubt just fueled these things, added more fuel to this horrible fire, this stinky fire, whatever it is. And I just kept making it worse and worse by doubting myself, saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it was kind of like I'm stood in front of a crowd in my mind, trying to preach to them, saying, this is why I can't do it. And there's so much self-doubt being spewed out into this crowd because I'm trying to prove why I don't need to take action, why I don't need to step out of my comfort zone. And that's what self-doubt normally is. It's an excuse to not get outside of your comfort zone. You want to do public speaking. You put so much self-doubt on yourself that you never have to step outside and actually do public speaking. So stop with the self-doubt. The sixth thing to quit right now is to stop being addicted to your phone, which the Stoics didn't actually talk about, but it's something I think is massively critical. It's so important in your life. We've got people, nearly everyone wakes up, the first thing they do is check the phone. And if you look at your screen time, I wrote about this in my book because I think it's so important. And obviously the Stoics, ancient Stoics, didn't talk about your phone. They didn't have phones. But they talk about things not getting distracted by these games and these fancy things. So there's a similarity. But right now we've got this device and it literally connects us to the world. It has anything at our fingertips. And it has so much so that now, if you're ever in a spot where you're a little bit bored, you're trying to do something, a little bit of resistance comes up, because resistance will always be there with certain things. You want to do something important, resistance comes up. Instead of sitting with that resistance, we'd pull out our phone and the resistance is gone, but we never do the thing. When we wake up, we check our phone and our heads are filled with all this rubbish, all this nonsense. And if you check your phone time, you might see that it's like 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. And then you times that by the amount of days in a year and you realize you're spending weeks on your phone. And then you think, how much value does my phone give me? I'm not going to say it doesn't give you any value because I get value from my phone. I work on my phone. I message people on my phone. I get educated from my phone. So there is value there. But doom scrolling, you're just filling your heads with rubbish. And I know a lot of stuff's actually, it's not just rubbish, it's bad stuff. It makes you feel bad. It makes you envious of people's wealth. It makes you jealous of people's lifestyle. It makes you sad that there's these opinions out in the world. So stop being addicted to your phone. It will completely fix your life. And the easy way to do this is when you're doing something important, you're doing work, put your phone out of arm's reach. Because that's just enough resistance to not pick it up when you're bored. Or put it in a different room. If you study and just do an hour, say, I can do an hour without my phone. Surely you can do an hour without your phone. And if you have, I need important calls, just allow that contact to call you, put it in focus mode, allow that contact to person to contact you. So you've got no excuse to put it out of arms, really far out of the way. And the same in the morning. Don't just wake up and look at your phone. Just be present in this life. Realize there's not much going on. It's quite relaxing. Because you wake up and first thing you do is flood your head with all this rubbish. And it's just like, life's a bit crazy. And then you've lost focus of self. You lost focus of direction. And your head's just all over the place. So remove your phone in the morning. Remove it from your area when you're working, and this will help you a lot. And then you can take further steps if you want to download an app that restricts time on your phone, because you don't need to be on it for 4 hours a day. You really don't, unless your job is on the phone. You really don't. So just restrict your time on the phone. I'm not saying get rid of it. And then 7, the last thing to quit right now is to stop expecting returns. Marcus Aurelius said, you've done good, they've received it. Why then, like fools, do we look for a third thing? And it's true, really in life, we're upset because our expectations are not met. We want things and we want things and we want them and we don't get them. And it upsets us. We do a good deed. And when the thank you is not given or the reward is not given, we get upset. How can you be upset that you've done something good unless it wasn't truly a good act? Because it's not a good act if you're doing it to get a reward. So true good is to do good without the expectation of a reward. So, having said that, there is a reward. Character. This thing that you control, your character. When you do good for people, you help people, and you're a good person, your character is rewarded. Because in turn, by doing good things, you become a good person. By helping people, you become a helpful person. By being courageous, you become a courageous person. By being wise, doing wise things, you become a wise person. And that is the reward. So there's two rewards, really. And there can be a third reward. You've done good, great. Your character is rewarded, great. Maybe someone benefits from that, even greater. So that is 7 things to quit right now. And if you quit these things, I promise you, your life will drastically improve. So just think, stop, quit. Maybe write them down. Quit living in the past. Quit trying to make everyone happy. Quit overthinking. Quit focusing on what you don't control. Quit the self-doubt. Quit being addicted to your phone and quit expecting returns. And I know some of you are thinking right now, it's easier said than done. I can't stop these things. Some of them are very hard. Some are very difficult. But that talk of saying, I can't do this, that's just another form of negative self-talk. It's another self-doubt. And I was doing this for many years. And when I stopped doing it, I realized months or years later that I could in fact do these things. So stop restricting yourself now. Understand that you can do them. It's just very difficult for you right now. And that is it for day 31 of 100 Stoic School. I'll see you in episode 32. Have a wonderful day. The next episode is on the topic of regrets. It'll be a good one. Stick around and have a wonderful day. And if you don't know what Stoic School is, I'm the author of the Everyday Stoic, Simple Rules for the Good Life, which just explains how to live life like a Stoic in a modern world. Very easy way to do it. But Stoic School is 100 days of Stoicism to help you understand what Stoicism is, how to become a Stoic, how to live like a Stoic. Ultimately, being a Stoic is like being in tune with your emotions, understanding your emotions, not getting upset by these externals that you don't control, not being so nervous, not being so anxious. I'm just explaining how I benefited from Stoicism. My anxiety went away. I got more confident. I've got happier, more balanced, more direction. Stoicism fixed my life. And I've heard messages of people saying it saved their life. So hopefully it can do it for you. And if you want to support what I'm doing, if you want to support what I'm doing, maybe introduce a friend or loved one to Stoic School. It might just help them. So you could do that, so on. Have a wonderful day and thank you for listening.